Happy Friday the 13th, everyone. I like Friday the 13th, so I figured I would do some research on Friday the 13th and tell you about it, because I find Friday the 13th to be very interesting how so many people believe in the superstition that Friday the 13th is a bad luck day. I'm thinking about doing this every Friday the 13th. Maybe. Today I'm going to be talking about the regular occurrence of Friday the 13th, how often it occurs. So if you like Friday the 13th, get ready for some interesting facts. Fact number 1, there's at least one Friday the 13th in every calendar year. For the research I did, I used an example of the years 1972 to 2037. In total, that is 66 years. Out of those 66 years, only 28 of those years have one Friday the 13th. Not two, only one. And only 32%, or 9 of those years, out of those 28 years, have Friday the 13th that does not fall on May or June. Now, strictly speaking, we're only talking about years that have only one Friday the 13th. Not two Friday the 13th, 3 Friday the 13th. So 78% of the Friday the 13th that occur in every year that only has one Friday the 13th occurs in either June or May. And those 28 years out of the 66 years that only has one Friday the 13th is 42.42 going on forever percent of those 66 years. Now, out of every year that has Friday the 13th, this includes years that have one Friday the 13th, two Friday the 13th, and 3 Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th occurs most in March, February, and November. This year just happens to be one of those years where it occurs in February, March, and November. Now, on a slightly different note, every month that starts on a Sunday has a Friday the 13th in it. That means every single year has at least one month in which one of those months starts on a Sunday. And out of all of those years that I did research on the days of the week that the number 13 falls on the most, just barely, it's Friday, more than any other day of the week. What I noticed in my research is that there's a discernible pattern in how many Friday 13ths there are each year. Like, it'll occur to where there's like one Friday 13th in one year, and then two in another, and then one, and two, and so on. I wrote this down because it's hard to memorize. But in 1972, there's one Friday the 13th, then in 1973, there are two, then another year with two Friday 13ths. A year with only one, then the next year has two, then 1, 2, 1, 3, then 2 years that have only one Friday the 13th, then another year with 3, 2, 1, 3, 1, 2 for 4 years in a row, then 2 with only one each, then 2 with 2 Friday 13ths each, and so on and so forth. Basically, this pattern seems to repeat itself, but that's only within this time span of years. Now, the reason why I didn't do more research on more years in the future or the past, because I don't really have time for that, but feel free to look it up yourself. You can go to dateandtime.com and go all the way back as far as it'll take you, or all the way forward as far as it'll take you. Now, the reason why I find Friday the 13th so fascinating is because someone once told me that the bad luck associated with Friday the 13th goes back to the 100-year war between Britain and France. What they told me was supposedly during those 100 years war, Britain had lost every battle on Friday the 13th, considering it a bad luck day, and the French won every war on Friday the 13th. Well, not war, but battle. Since I'm part French and not at all British, I started to consider the Friday the 13th a good luck day. Unfortunately, all that information that was told to me was false. I did some research on the internet, and nowhere did I find any of these facts to be true. In fact, the only information that I found about the 100-Year War and Friday the 13th is that back during the 100-Year War, King Philip IV had burned the Knights Templar at the stake on Friday the 13th because he suspected them of something. I don't know for sure what. I didn't do too much research into it. But I did find out that that information that I was told was wrong. Still, even though Friday the 13th isn't a good luck day for the French necessarily, I still consider it a good luck day because while other people may be superstitious about it, I just say, hey, whatever happens on Friday the 13th happens. If it's bad, then okay, bad things happen all the time. If it's good, then it's a good luck day. So in celebration of Friday the 13th, I thought I'd present these facts to you. Have a good Friday the 13th. Still an amateur at this. Battery died. Still an amateur. I'll learn though. I will learn.